All right, here we go. In the preseason finale, Knicks take on the Wizards. No KP. KP ducked the smoke. He sat out through the rest. But nevertheless, Knicks face a tough Wizards team who wouldn't quit tonight, but they came away victorious, 105-89, led by the Block Ness monster Mitchell Robinson, our new point guard Jalen Brunson, and RJ Broadway Barrett. Some injury updates as well, and we're going to talk about everything, man. Lock in. Salute to everybody in the chat. Once again, hit that thumbs up button for you boys. Knicks post-game live, presented by Manscaped, CP the Franchise, JD Sports Talk, on the ones and twos on this Friday night. Let's get right into it, man. Let's get right into it. All right, preseason finally over. We're ready for the regular season, but nevertheless, let's talk about some takeaways tonight, bro. Let's talk about some takeaways. You know, Mitch, I saw some chatter about my guy Mitch over the past two preseason games.
They're pretty quiet in the chat.
They're pretty quiet in the chat.
In our group.
Yeah.
Group.
Oh yeah. Oh, the Slack is quiet. I did see some murmuring in the YouTube chat. I won't name names. But nevertheless, you saw the third quarter that he had against the Pacers, and you saw it in the first quarter today. 4 offensive rebounds in the first quarter alone. 9 offensive rebounds in the game. 12 boards in all. 20 points for the Block Ness monster. Best performance of the preseason. He looks to be in regular season form. And to me, look, Taj is our guy. Taj can't hold him. He always seems to play well against Daniel Gafford. As soon as Gafford got the bag, I felt like Mitch had a chip on his shoulder. He always seems to come up big against Daniel Gafford, if you notice. But nevertheless, tonight, Mitch showed you why he's so valuable to this team in many respects. One, as a starter, again on the offensive glass. They were able to find him early for the lobs. Fournier found him for a Gotham lob. RJ, I believe Brunson was able to feed him, and he was able to convert well. But I think also you see that when he's not out there, the second unit is missing him tremendously, because Hartenstein isn't as much of a rim protector, and Sims, we'll see where his minutes come in, but nevertheless, neither one of those guys can give you that type of impact. Tonight he looked good, looked very good on both ends. I mean, you had the one play where he catches the ball in the dunker spot, dunks the ball, then runs back on the other end and blocks a shot. He got called for a goaltend, but nevertheless, the hustle, you saw that hustle, and he seems to be in good shape out there. So good job by Mitch. And what I'm saying about Mitch is that, you know, his impact is felt when he's on the court, but even when he's off, because you're starting to see that with this second unit, with Hartenstein and with Obi, you miss that rim protection. Sims is not going to be out there for as many minutes, especially with the signing of a Hartenstein. And so the rebounding and the block shots and the rim protection is sorely missed when Mitch isn't out there. And it's not just blocking shots, but it's also intimidating shots, altering shots, making guys think twice before taking it into the hole. So good job by Mitch really enforcing his will out there, and he looks to be in regular season shape. JD, what do you think, man?
I mean, after Jalen Brunson, you know, you got RJ up there defensively. Mitch probably has been their best performer here in the preseason.
Yeah.
And I think the most encouraging part of his preseason is probably his mental. He seems to be locked in already.
Yeah.
On the post game, on the court, on his interview, he mentioned that, you know, they came into this game wanting to take this last game very seriously. So when a player says that going into a game, your mindset's a certain way, and then he performs, that means he bought into what the goal was for tonight. And I think that's encouraging for the franchise, for the head coach, and for the team, because of his past history. You know, Mitch has dealt with, you know, immaturity questions, conditioning questions, you know, things that are off the court that he can control. And so going now into the season, into the season opener, he's been able to attack those things that he can control. And that to me shows a guy that, and I'll tell you, CP, it was one of the question marks for me, because after he signed that contract, even though we felt we needed to do it, there still were, some people shook. Like, I don't know how Mitch is going to respond. Will he sign, and then will he take the rest of the summer off? Right. But it looks like, the contract is just a part of his career. And I am just very encouraged by the way he's mentally attacked preseason and going into the season. I think that's where the Knicks are most encouraged from is, when Tibbs first became a coach, remember, they didn't even grant him the starting job. Tibbs was saying some things, maybe trying to play with, his psychology to get him to buy in. And, this preseason after tonight, he has 20 offensive rebounds in total in only 4 games. Strong. I mean, that's impressive. And, I had mentioned before with Hartenstein, this is why Tibbs values guys like Mitch, is the rim protection, is the ability to play defense, the ability to cover for mistakes. And I like his mentality of how aggressive he is. He always, as you mentioned, plays like this against Daniel Gafford. I think also because Gafford's an athletic center, he's also a shot blocker.
Right.
So maybe the similarities in their game, sometimes you want to show the other player like, no, we have similar skill sets, but I'm better than you.
Yeah.
And so I also like that for Mitch. And I can't wait for the home opener, because he's going to have a tough matchup to start out, and he can continue to show some of that value.
Big time matchup against Steven Adams. And you're right, the contract, a lot of people will still question the contract, whether it was worth it. The durability concerns are always going to be there until he can get through, could he get through 75% of a season? I think that would be ideal. Let's see how he improves from the free throw line. Tonight, was he about 1 for 4? What would Mitch do? 2 for 4. 2 for 4. Okay, 50%. So, 2 steals, 2 blocks for Mitch, though. But, I thought tonight he was solid. So, good job by him. And as you said, it seems like his approach this year, he seems to be a lot more locked in and ready. Seems ready to go, both mentally and physically. So that's all you can ask for. You knock on wood that he can stay healthy and stay durable for as long as he can and continue to help this team. And another area where I felt like he was kind of effective, especially earlier in the game, was setting screens. We talked about that on the show last night in our player expectations show. And we talked about, we went through the list of the top 10 centers in terms of screen assists, and Gobert continues to be at the top of that list. You look at guys like Domantas Sabonis and Nikola Vucevic, those guys being able to set screens, freeing their guys up and creating offense that way, not through passing the ball, but creating space for their guards and the wings to create for themselves. And that means a lot, because you look at a Gobert who has been at the top of the league for a long time now. That really impacts an offense, and that really impacted the Jazz's offense when he was there. And so, Mitch, I think that should be a goal of his. Can he crack the top 10, the top 15 in terms of screen assists? I think that would be very helpful, because that gets him more lobs, and that also gets, Brunson more opportunities, especially in the mid-range. If RJ can shoot better from there, or, attack and finish better as he has been, that'll get him some better looks. So it helps over the offense overall if Mitch can set a lot better screens. But overall, good job by him.
And one quick thing I wanted to say is, to his conditioning, I think the other positive is we haven't seen any reports of him missing practice. And, remember that last season where he always has these like weird falls, or he tweaks this and that. I haven't seen much of that in it's only 4 games, but I think when you combine the way that he's played on the court and also in practice, doesn't seem like he's missed the practice. He just looks to be in a better position to have a better start than he did last season.
Yeah, no question about it. On to Brunson, our guys, Alan Hahn, Bill Pito, and Wiley on the MSG postgame said it best. Seems like he's been here a long time, man. I mean, of course, we still got to give these guys time to gel. It's still preseason. But as the floor general, he's taking the rock and he's running with it. Like, yo, listen, I'm here. This is how this thing is going to orchestrate. And he's doing a solid job, man. Efficient as hell tonight. 10 of 15 from the field. 3 of 5 from downtown. 27 points. Had an excellent third quarter. 11 points in the third quarter. He was mixing it up. finishing strong on his drives, knocked down some nice threes, couple in transition. Brunson's looking great, man. He's looking every bit as advertised for this offense, and it's a good sign. 27 points, 5 dimes, 4 rebounds for Brunson tonight.
And, we talked about Randall, in the past in terms of the previous teams. As Randall goes, the Knicks go. I think that may change this season in terms of as Brunson goes, the Knicks go. You saw last game, right, CP? Last game, he didn't shoot as well from the floor, and his game is efficiency. And then you saw how last game, the way the offense and the starting line, it just didn't sync. Well, that to me, after you see what happens tonight when he's 10 of 16 and 3 of 5 from 3, you just see how just everything just clicks. And then the respect level that the defense gives to him allows for other players to get better shots. And that's how you're going to see his leadership. He has 5 assists. He's not going to be an 8, 9, 10 assist guy, but by him, being so efficient and then being a threat in isolation, it's just going to naturally flow into everyone else getting shots. His IQ as well. There was a play where he set a pick and roll with Mitch by the sideline, and that allowed Mitch to be a threat, because you're so close to the basket, and calling for a pick and roll closer to the basket, that makes Mitch a threat. Whereas if you're going too far from the basket, you allow a player to not respect Mitch as a perimeter threat. Yeah. When Brunson called that play, I just said, this guy just knows his teammates. He knows how to make other teammates a threat as well, to open him up for what was a teardrop 2-pointer. So it's him also just understanding his teammates. But as a leader, he talked about, he's not the most vocal guy, but he's going to lead with his play. Well, you see how, to me, it looks like his teammates respect him. And if he continues to play like this, that respect level is only going to grow, more and more. And he's going to be one of the players we're going to lean on, I think, especially in close games, because he's just so experienced, even as a young player at only 26 years old.
No question about it. And you saw a nice outlet, a nice dime to RJ in the corner, off of some Brunson passes, off of the Brunson drives, which I believe is going to be another strength. The gravity, the attention that he demands or commands on his drives, it's going to open things up, man. It's going to open things up for RJ, Julius, whether it's 48 Grimes. Everybody's going to be able to benefit off of that. And I believe you said it on a previous show, the fact that other teams are going to have to take this guy seriously as a point guard and guard him. We've heard it in the offseason, the amount of respect that he's gotten across the league for his talent and his skill set. A lot of guys say, don't sleep on this guy. The fact that he's going to make other point guards in this league work. Ja Morant's going to get tested. Trae Young is going to get tested. So that's going to be another plus for us, man. Just having another threat out there at the point of attack, it's going to really benefit this offense.
Yeah, he's going to attack. I think from day one, he's going to go in and attack Ja Morant. I don't think Brunson, being in New York, just having some of that New York personality within him, I don't think he looks at any night and he looks at the other side of the court and a name that's flashy than the other. I think he's going to treat the opponent, every single opponent, the same way. In other words, he's not going to allow the opponent to dictate the way he wants to play. He's going to be aggressive. And by the way this preseason has been, he's going to look to score. And he can get that freedom, CP, because he's efficient. Yeah. So when you have a guy that's efficient, that looks to be aggressive, but also does it within the flow of the offense, and he makes the quick move, so he doesn't waste any time, then you give him that freedom and you allow him to be a floor general.
Yeah, no question about it, man. His addition is going to be key for us. Definitely feeling it so far. So shout out to Brunson. Great game by him. Let's talk about RJ, man. The shot is looking good. RJ coming into this game shooting 50% from 3. Another efficient night for RJ, man. 6 of 13 from the field, 4 of 7 from downtown, 3 of 5 from the stripe, 19 points, 12 rebounds for RJ, 2 dimes. And look, yes, it's only preseason, but look, he's looking like the guy that was averaging 24 and 6 in the second half last year. I mean, things are just coming real smooth, real easy for RJ. I love the fact that he's knocking down threes off of the catch and shoot. He looks to be real comfortable in the corners, which again, off of those Brunson drives is going to be key. RJ's looking fairly good, man. On the offensive side, he's looking pretty good.
And you said the second half, and from the 3-point line, CP, he's looking like the guy from 2 years ago at 40%.
That's right.
You know, going into tonight, he was shooting 47% from three, and with 4 or 7 from three tonight, that's only going to tick up a little bit. So, you know, he's going to go into the season in 4 games shooting over 47% from three. And to me, that's one of the biggest positives,
Big
CP,
time.
because, you know, it's preseason, but now the real thing starts. And the Grizzlies are going to look at this and they're going to try to find ways, you know, okay, Brunson, you know, is good, but what do we do with the rest of the team? You know, who are we going to leave open, or who do we attack more? And when we talked about the construction of this starting lineup, not the most athletic, in my opinion, we're going to see how the fit is. Julius, you know, who struggled from three tonight, that was one of my concerns going into the season, is after Brunson, you know, if Fournier or Grimes is in the starting lineup, where else do we go for space, you know, creation for shooting? And RJ to me was the wild card.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I just, you know, with the Randall, we'll see. But RJ's a wing player. That's another player in the perimeter. So when your perimeter players can shoot, just makes it much easier for your point guard to operate. And him showing improvement this early, because again, it's preseason, but guess what? If he would have struggled from three, tonight's show, we would have been saying, you know, we're still seeing, we don't know, will his shooting come around during the season? So although it's preseason, I'd rather see what I've seen, because that also tells me that he worked really hard this offseason. Shout out to Drew Hanlon. And you know, I can't wait to see it, you know, transfer hopefully into the season. He just looks a little bit more polished. He looks more comfortable. Again, we talked about, you know, Brunson having that effect. It just seems like with Brunson there, he just feels like he has a little bit more pressure, and he can just focus on other areas just because he doesn't have the pressure to be the only playmaker, you know, as far as the starting lineup.
Yeah. Absolutely, man. And another area, the drives are looking cleaner too, man. The finishing on the drives are looking cleaner. You saw a nice one where he switched it left to right with a Euro step, finished with the right hand, drew the contact and the foul. Had another one, a nice lefty scoop layup in contact. And so the finishes are looking a lot better than last year as well, man. So give credit to RJ. As you said, those are some of the areas that he's working on, and he's been looking good. Definitely looking good, man. Looking comfortable, looking more polished, as you said, and confident. No doubt about it.
Can't wait to see him. You know, opening night. You know, it's going to be a theme because we play a very good team right from the get-go. We're going to play a very athletic team. So all these guys tonight, all individually, they all have interesting matchups. So can't wait to see it on Wednesday.
Can't wait, man. But you know, with the starting five kind of being obviously the biggest question mark because of the addition of Brunson, because of we want to see, can Julius rebound and can RJ find some more efficiency, how those guys will fit. So far, again, preseason, it's looked okay. It's looked okay. They're trying to play faster. We've seen some opportunities for them getting out in transition and running some nice fast breaks. You've seen Brunson out there finding RJ knocking it down, RJ finding his spots. Julius has been playing faster. He's giving up the ball. He's trying to get guys going rather than holding on to the ball. And so I like how unselfishly these guys are approaching this, right? We're not gonna, you know, crown them, you know, clean chemistry and everything like that because it's only preseason. All I'll say is I like the approach so far of how they're getting their offense.
Yeah, they certainly, if we're just gonna evaluate it by these 4 games, they certainly look much more ready than the bench. Yeah. I think if we're gonna, you know, I guess overreact. We're looking at the bench as something that would, you know, hopefully gets better as the season begins. But the starting 5, they look much better together, and I think they're ready. You know, a lot of those guys work together. You know, Brunson and Randall. definitely worked together a lot in the offseason and certain activities and workouts that we saw. So they started early to build some chemistry. And I think also, throughout training camp, most of those guys being healthy, being able to practice together has contributed to that. And then, when you look at the minutes tonight, especially the rotations, not seeing McBride, not seeing, even Cam. Cam only played 9 minutes, and I think 8 of those were in the first half.
I don't think he came in the second half. He gave it all to Grimes.
He came in like the last minute of garbage time is when he came in. So I look like Tibbs tried to give somewhat of a semi regular season feel tonight in terms of the way that he managed some of these minutes. And when I look at Fournier only getting 16 as opposed to everyone else, that might be some, the way that he goes where, teams do this a lot in the center position. The Clippers do that a lot with Zubac where he starts, but he only ends up playing like 16, 18 minutes because of the other combinations that they want to see. You may see that with this team with Fournier. Yes, Fournier could be the starter to go into the season, but that doesn't mean that he's going to play 30 minutes with everyone else.
Right.
He's just going to start to get you some type of shooting to begin. And then, you're going to see him with, long stretches on the bench. So, I mean, that's the signals, Tibbs gave throughout preseason and especially tonight, because it definitely looked like he wanted to give Grimes some minutes with the starters. And I can't wait to see it happen.
No question about it. And on that injury front, have you seen an update on Obi? Obi left the game. Looked like when he shot a 3-pointer, his momentum carried him back and he stepped on either a cameraman or a fan's foot. So it looked like he either tweaked his foot, tweaked his ankle or something, but Obi left the game limping a little bit. We'll see what the reports say on that. And then conversely, Quentin Grimes came back from his foot injury. Came back late in the second quarter, about 6 minutes left in the second quarter. But as you said, whether it was the second quarter or late in the fourth, he was in with the starters. Played heavy minutes with the starters. So, yeah, as you said, it seems like Tibbs is trying to get him some run. Obviously, offensively, he was rusty. Defensively, he was trying to do his thing, be a pest out there and get after it. Offensively, rusty, but nevertheless, from a playing time standpoint, logged a lot of minutes with that starting unit. So could be a sign of things to come.
Yeah, and I think, tonight there's not much on the box score that he provided an assist, a rebound. He only took 2 shots, missed both 3-point shots. They were good shots. I like the rhythm and everything, just didn't make it. It's tonight was more of a conditioning run from him as a player, but from a coaching standpoint, it was more of trying to get him to play with the starters and see how that looks. This is tonight was the only opportunity to take a look at that. So Tibbs, if he wanted to see just how the team operated with him, tonight was the only night to do it before the season begins. So, I'm glad that he got minutes because he's a young player. You see this difference between young players and veterans. Young players come back from injury. They're going to need a little bit of time, CP. They're going to need a few games. They're going to need a few runs just because these are things they've never been there before. Fournier is much more likely to miss a week and come back and just know what spot to go, know where to be, and not lose much of his rhythm. Grimes is his first time going through a lot of this stuff and some adversity here. So, we'll see. I think the most interesting part as we begin the season is going to be now, there's no more experimenting, right? We're go
time.
We're for real now. We're go time. So we're going to see how these minutes and rotations go. Was this all just, load management for Derrick Rose? And then, opening night, he's playing 24 minutes. We don't know. I think it's going to be interesting to see. And, we'll find out soon.
Absolutely, man. So to everybody in the chat, once again, hit that thumbs up button for you boys. The number one show for the fans by the fans is back, man. This is Knicks Postgame Live, presented by Manscaped. CPJD on the ones and twos on this Friday night, man. Hit that thumbs up button for you boys. Hit that like button and share this video right now. Share it on Twitter. Email your friend. Email your grandma. Let her know the number one show for the fans by the fans is back, running and gunning. We had a little audio difficulties, but that can't slow us down, man. All we have to do was unplug it and plug it back in. You know what I mean? The old Nintendo trick, JD, sometimes work on all the electronics. You know what I'm saying?
I told you the Grizzlies they're already trying to play mind games. They're trying to get us off our game.
Grizzlies
you know what I mean?
Fan TV was trying to throw us off.
Out.
Yeah,
you saw their tweet, right?
Yeah, I saw that.
Talking about enjoy your weekend, New York Knicks.
Yeah.
I hope we win, and then I hope the Knicks Twitter account tweets that tweet and says, "I hope you enjoy your night too."
Oh, you already know the smoke is coming, and I think we're gonna win that game anyway, man. Let me salute some of the super chats that have come in. Shout out to Darth Hayes, $10 super chat says starters go better. See Brunson, RJ All-Star ready. Randall is balling. EV or Quentin Grimes, we good. EV meaning Evan Fournier. He says, we're good at shooting guard. Bench mob, got to get it together. If we win at home and beat the teams we should beat at home on the road, I see a 6th seed. Any concerns on the bench play? It's been a little up and down. What did you think about the bench? Tonight, it seemed like they had it going, or the starters had it going in the first. When the bench came in is when the game got back close. The bench really got the Wizards back into the game. Didn't really play well. What do you think?
I don't know, CP. I mean, these are young guys, so it's like, is this slow start part of, the young guys, just, getting some rhythm together. Again, Rose is a wild card to me. He just is because, there was a game that he didn't play. There was another game where he didn't play much. So like even at the guard rotation, you saw just different variations where these guys are just not used to it. Yeah. Like tonight, you saw Quickly come off the bench early and play with Brunson. It looked like Tiz maybe wanted to see that. Let me get Quickly more minutes with Brunson. And so that was a different wrinkle tonight. So I just think we won't know until the season starts, because then we're going to see, what is going to be the stability of this bench. Is it going to be Rose and IQ exclusively, or is what we saw this preseason with Rose, is that what we're going to see, 8, 10, 12, 14 minutes, as he's going to be 34 years old. As far as, Quickly, he struggled again, I think, tonight in terms of shooting. And not much after that. I mean, he did have 9 rebounds, 3 assists, but it's more about, again, and it's going to be the ongoing thing. I think with Quickly is going to be 2 things: who he plays with. Is he the point guard that night as the 1, or is he the off guard with a Rose, with a Brunson? I think once he knows what his role is for the night, he has to make sure that he adapts to that and he switches his mentality, whether he's an aggressor or whether he's more of a playmaker. I think once he figures that rhythm out, you're going to see more consistency in his play. And then with Hartenstein, 2 of 7, didn't hit a 3. So everybody was just inconsistent, and there's a lot of players on this bench, CP, because if Hartenstein doesn't have it going, you could go to Sims. If you have a lot of, young guys here on the bench. So it to me is a wait and see. And Obi's hurt tonight. Will he, is this something serious? We'll see. But these guys on the bench, that's the number one thing, though. They have to hit shots. And I've said it, especially with Obi, 0 of 3 tonight from 3. You see the difference when he hits perimeter shots than when he doesn't, in terms of how his impact is on the floor. If he can hit some shots, everything else will be much better for himself and for the team.
Yeah, I agree with that, man. I think Quick is still kind of trying to figure it out, trying to find his balance. Last game against the Pacers, he was more shot heavy. This game, he was distributing a little bit more. As he said, he's been trying to work on that layup package. You didn't see as much of the floater. He was trying to drive and finish with some layups. Had a couple of in the mid-range. Overall, what wasn't too good. Hartenstein, I think you're going to get some up and down games. Last game against the Pacers, offensively, he was good. Obviously, in crunch time, there was a little bit of defensive breakdowns that let the Pacers back into the game. I think, as you said, Sims may not be totally out of this rotation, because there's still going to be nights where you're going to need some more boards, effective boards, impactful boards, and better defense, better rim protection. And Hartenstein just seems like it could be, he's going to be inconsistent in that regard. Some nights he's going to have it, and some nights he's just not. And so I don't think Sims is going to be completely out of it. Obi, as you said, I definitely agree with. Going to be really depend. His minutes are really going to depend on, him knocking down some shots. What do you go for? 3 for 9 tonight, 0 for 3 from downtown, 6 points and 4 rebounds. And as we said, he left the game with some sort of lower leg injury. So we'll see what happens there. But I think Rose is gonna get some minutes, man. Because
so you basically think, when we start this off, Rose is gonna be a big part of this rotation.
I think Rose is still gonna be a big part of it. Now, I think they'll still find their spots to, issue some load management. Whether it's a game that do they really need him here? Can they afford to give him a rest? Yes, but in a Memphis game, Rose is playing.
And you see it, CP, like even like you've seen it throughout this preseason. Not much minutes, but you see it in certain possessions with Rose where they're looking for a play, right? They're looking for a shot. They're passing it around. Nobody can get nowhere. Quickly makes a move, tried to get by his guy. He doesn't get it. He throws it back out. And it seems like when they're in trouble, they give it to Rose, and Rose just makes a play. Rose just can get by his defender. Even at this age, even when things get in trouble and the shot clock is winding down, he is a guy that can still get you a shot, whether it's by himself in isolation or for your team. And that right there could be very important for this team throughout the season, especially off the bench, because Quickly still has these moments where I guess depends on the defender. There's some guys that he has a little bit more trouble just getting by than others. So by having Rose, be in that extra guard, it can give, your bench another guy that can just create some shots. You have Brunson at the starting lineup, and then you could have Rose on the bench. So I think for Tibbs, he's going to favor that if Rose is healthy and if he feels that Rose can still get a lot of minutes. And, it's going to be interesting to see as we begin the season.
No question about it. Let's take a call on this, man. I told you once this guy called one time, he's never going to stop calling. And we're going back to Tampa. Rambo from Tampa in the building. Rambo, what's going on? Oh, man, it doesn't sound like he's ready. Rambo, are you in preseason mode? What's good, man? It's Friday night. Let's go. I don't know what Rambo's doing, man. Sound like he's in the car. Is he on the computer or something?
Listen, man.
Rambo, man, you got to get it together, man.
Rambo is rambling.
Yeah, Rambo is rambling. I don't know what he's doing, man. We're going to drop him off. Edgar, if he comes back, tell him he's got to be ready. This is preseason mode. We're going to let him slide. It's preseason. But you got to be ready, man. You got to be ready. 1,500 in the chat, man. So to everybody in the chat, hit that thumbs up button for you boys. If you guys are new in the chat, leave us a hashtag new and we will shout you guys out. Also, as we talk about preseason being over, as we segue into the regular season, ladies and gentlemen, all roads are leading to the 40-40 Club on Wednesday, October 19th. Knicks versus Grizzlies watch party. KnicksFanTV live pregame, halftime, and postgame. CP, JD, Alex, a host of others is going to be ridiculous. Make sure you come through 21 and up. Got to be 21 and up. But free entry with RSVP, man. All you got to do is go to betkftv.com to enter. That's it. You guys got to show up, man. If you guys are in the New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, tri-state area, make sure you guys pull up. We've been getting a lot of good news over the week, man. We've been getting a lot of calls. A lot of people calling up. CP, I got to be there. CP, this is such and such from so-and-so. We will be there. I'm telling you guys right now, 40-40 Club is going to be the place to be on Wednesday night. Trust and believe it is going to be stellar. And the Knicks are going to win. I'm already claiming victory. Broadway Joe style. So it's going to be a good night. And on top of that, JD, I spoke to our guys at BetMGM. And basically they said, listen, we got a lot of people already RSVPing. What we're going to do is we're going to give away 2 tickets to the Knicks versus Pistons game at MSG. But in order to win, you got to be there to claim your tickets. So make sure you RSVP. You got to be there. So make sure you RSVP. You come through on Wednesday, and you have a chance to win 2 tickets to Friday night at MSG. KnicksFanTV, the gift that keeps on giving, man. That's just what it is, bro.
I mean, Manhattan, 40/40 Club.
Yeah.
You know, Jay-Z.
Come on.
Hopefully he doesn't come with a Brooklyn jersey if he decides to surprise us.
I already told Hov. I said, Hov, no foot tricks, Hov. You know what I'm saying? I said, you could come through. Maybe we get you on, maybe we find a window for you, but just don't come through with no Nets gear. You know what I'm saying?
I like how you're telling him you can come through.
Yeah. Already worked that out with Hov, man.
As if that's not his spot. Like, you can come through if you want.
Already worked that out with Hov, man. We good to go. And yeah,
definitely everybody show up, man. Let's make a statement. Let's show them how Knicks Nation, how we move.
Yeah.
And there's no better night than opening night.
No better night than opening night, man.
You know, we'll be able to have some shows and the ticket giveaway, man. It's a big night to meet some fans and network and, talk about the Knicks.
Absolutely, man. We're going to have a ton of giveaways. I got a lot of people that want to give away some stuff, some prizes. And so it's going to be a great night. Shout out to the Rhyme Animal, Chuck D in the building. Everybody throw a hashtag PE in the chat. And let me shout out Chuck's Super Chat. Give me a second. Give me a second here. And Chuck says, Brunson carves that floor with pace and balance. He scores effortlessly in the game like Zeke Thomas, who could always get 30. JB seems satisfied with 18 per. I hope the team doesn't get stat envy at him. Shout out to Chuck, man. Yeah, it definitely seems like, some nights could be in the teens and some nights he's like that. 27, efficient, 10 or 15 from the floor. Chuck also says when players play together 3-4 years, it can go 2 ways, either culture or crash. Familiarity for us seems to work with the Tibbs system. I see it. All right. Well, let's see, man. Let's hope they can get it together. But obviously, definitely appreciate the OG Chuck D. Shout out to Flashy. Flashy Super Chat says, first round on me, 40-40. Flashy, are you buying the bar for the first drink? We're going to hold you to it, man. We're going to hold you to it. Pull up on me. Flashy said he's buying the bar for the first drink. So that is going to be pretty interesting. Shout out to Flashy, man. Looking forward to that one as well. Let's see who's in our team hashtag news tonight. Shout out Ernesto Salcedo, team hashtag new. Shout out to Ernesto and everybody else. Okay, let's check back if we got Rambo back. Okay. I'm hearing that we have Rambo back, but he's talking to Edgar in the green room. So in the meantime, we'll go to Nashville. Let's go to Nashville, Tennessee, and talk to Boyd. Boyd, what's going on? Boyd, going once? Oh, you know what? Hang tight. I think I know what the issue might be. Hang tight 1 second. I think it's... Okay. I know what the issue is. Hang tight, people. Because we had some audio issues earlier, we're not connected. So hang tight 1 second. Let me get this back. So to everybody in the chat, once again, hit that thumbs up button for your boys. Going to get the phones back up and running. Hang tight. Okay. Salute. Knicks win 105-89 in the preseason finale.
It appears you're...
Okay, almost there. Okay, here we go. Back up and running. Boyd from Nashville. Boyd, what's going on?
What's good, bro? What's good, man? I was calling in, dude, because I'm sitting here and I'm watching the game. I like what I see with Brunson. Honestly, I already knew what he was. He's a dog. My only worry is, honestly, is Fournier and Grimes. Like, I don't know how we're going to work that situation out. I love Fournier, and he spreads the floor, but Quentin Grimes is like, yo, how many minutes we going to give Fournier instead of Quentin Grimes, bro?
Yeah. I think it'll work out, man. From every interview that you hear from Tibbs, even going back to last year, he's very high on Quentin Grimes, man. He's very high on Quentin Grimes. And so I think it's only a matter of time before he's implanted as a starter. But as JD just said earlier, you could see a situation where even if Fournier does start, Grimes still logs more minutes over the course of the game and finishes. There were a lot of games last year that Fournier did not finish. There were a lot of games last year Fournier did not finish. And so I think you could still see that situation. I think Grimes will absolutely get his fair share of minutes, I think, early. He's going to get his fair share of minutes, no question.
I think so, too. How do y'all feel the offense looks, with Brunson being in there? When I was watching the highlights from the past couple of games, man, it just seems like having a point guard with the ability to move the ball, like it's a different type of swagger out there on the court for us right now. I think R.J. Barrett's going to open up for a lot for him as well, too.
I agree. It's looking smooth so far. Only preseason. But one thing is for sure is that just having a Brunson out there, it's just refreshing, man, because he makes sound decisions. There's limited turnovers. He had a couple tonight, but very limited turnovers. Makes sound decisions. As they said, you can't speed him up. He's got Julius kind of settled down a little bit. Julius is playing fast. He's giving the ball up. RJ finding his spots. They're playing very unselfishly right now. Some nights it's balanced.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Tonight, Brunson had his 27. Mitch had his 20. RJ had his 21. They're getting some balance out of that starting lineup, man. So I think so far it looks pretty good.
Okay, I was just checking on what y'all thought, man. I'm not going to lie to you. Now, look, I love Julius. I love Julius to death. I swear I do. But if someone come knocking with a good deal, man, I'm sorry. I might have to take it. Well, I love Julius, bro, but it's just sometimes it's just like, bro, it's just like I'm not calling him on the Russell Westbrook type of thing, but it's just sometimes I feel like the game is just going way too fast in his mind where they can just slow down just a little bit.
Yeah. Well, listen, man, I think they're a long way away from, finding a sound deal. Right now, I think your best bet is to hope that he just plays well on this team. And because of where they are, because of the team that they put together, your best bet is to see Julius play well and that they can make the playoffs or something. I think that's the best bet.
Yeah, I think so, too. How many wins do you think we're getting this year?
I'm going 42, man. How about you? What do you think, man?
Ooh, don't do us like that, bro. Don't do us like that.
I gotta stick with it, man. Give me your number real quick, and then we'll get to JD.
I got you, man. I'm shooting high. I'm not gonna lie. I think we're gonna mess around. I think we get on a run. I think eventually we start locking in. I think we're around 49, 50, and I think we're a little bit deeper than we really think and we expect. I think we found a rotation.
We've got a 50 burger here, JD. Now that's a perfect segue for you, man. Let's go.
Well, he might be by himself on that day. I don't know. Man, I got so tired of grilling last year, man, and my grill staying stuck in the storage room. I'm done. I'm done with that. I think, man, I knew he was going high because once they start explaining it before they say the dub, you went right to it. You said 42.
Yeah. Once he hit you with the well, you knew he was going high. He was going high. He knew he was going high with it. I'm gonna say
45 wins. If they're healthy, I think, they won 37, I believe, last season, and it was like a clunky 37 because of certain rotations. Burks playing the point guard, a lot of ups and downs. Mm-hmm. So I'm looking at it if they're mostly healthy throughout the season, and Brunson is who I think he's going to be, and is also dependent on these young guys taking another step, I think they can get up to 45 for sure.
Okay. I'm going to say, let's just throw these teams out there, right? I think the Bucks will be in the top 3, obviously. I'm going to put them.
Are you sure? They didn't win a preseason game, CP. They went 0-5.
I'm not worried about that, man. They'll be
Giannis said the same thing. We're not worried.
Yeah. The freak is coasting. He went all out in Eurobasket. He's chilling right now. I think they'll be back right there. Number 2, or around that 2.
Wait, are you giving us your seeds?
I'm giving some projections, seed projections, where we may fall in a range. Okay? So I say Bucks 1, right?
Okay.
Philly's looking type strong. I'm gonna put the Sixers up there. I like the upgrades. I like PJ Melton. I think Harden's gonna be motivated. Maxi's gonna take another step up. Embiid is Embiid. I think Philly's gonna be strong. So I'm putting them within that top 3. What happens with Boston with no Robert Williams for 4 to 8 weeks? Their bench is looking. They just signed Noah Vonleh, bro. They are looking funny in the light, man. I don't trust them. I don't know. It's not automatic that just because team went to the finals it's not automatic that they just jump back. And with the Udoka thing, who knows what this new coach is going to be made of? Can they keep it together? I don't know. Something tells me they're coming back to the pack a little bit. Something tells me they're coming back to the pack a little bit. Just something tells me. But I'm gonna put some respect on them. So I'll put them in that top 3 for right now. Just for right now.
Okay.
Where are we putting the Nets? Let's take our hater caps off and think with logic. Where are we putting the Nets right now?
Oh man. And Simmons is a wild card.
Wild card.
He fouled out tonight in like 12 minutes. So I honestly, I was one that thought that he was actually a better fit with them than Harden.
Yes, I do. I still believe it.
Because, I think you'll see it starting opening night. They're going to put him on everybody's best offensive player, and you'll see his impact there. And that helps KD tremendously. That helps KD tremendously. Yeah. And they have a lot of shooting, man, with Curry, Patty Mills, and Joe Harris. Yeah. And then KD himself is a shooter. Kyrie himself is a shooting threat. Yeah. I think you got to put the Nets at the top 4.
Top 4. All right. So we'll put Nets. So we'll go Bucks, Sixers, Celtics, Nets. Around there. Obviously, those things can move. How about the Raptors? Somebody said today that the Raptors, I forgot who it was. One of these analysts said that the Raptors could be a sleeper. And we have some Raptors fans that watch this show, so they're definitely going to chime in the comments.
How about this? I think if you're going at, you're saying Raptors, that's the 5th spot. I think this is a spot
or is it Miami?
It's going to be between I don't know. I don't have the Raptors at 5. I think they'll take a little bit of a step back. But I think this 5 spot, it's either Miami or Cleveland to me.
Or Cleveland, right?
Miami or Cleveland to me.
Wow. This is a tough East.
Crazy, bro.
This is a tough damn East. I'm numbering these things like, damn, how many teams make the playoffs? I'm like, damn.
Hold on. When we gonna get to us?
Yeah, right. I'm like, damn, we forgot about them. All right. So out of respect, I'll put Miami 5. I'll put Cleveland 6. Solid. And we didn't even get to Toronto yet. Rookie of the year, Scotty Barnes, year 2. Siakam.
Now.
OG.
Now. We got 6. Now. Ooh. Here's where the Knicks have potential.
Okay. I like that. I like that. Well, this
right?
is playing.
Because I'm looking at last season, the 6th seed last season were the Bulls, and I think the Bulls are going to take a major
I think they're going to be trash. Not trash. Not trash. I think that was a little too far. I jumped out the window. But I don't think that I never really felt like they were a legit top seed last year. Like even when they're up there, I'm like, in the playoffs, they're gonna be food in the playoffs. I just don't think that they don't have it. I think you're asking for a big year from Patrick Williams. Daylon Terry off, as a rookie, nice. I always like what's the Elmer Fudd's name? What's his name with the ball head? Caruso. I'll always love the Caruso pickup for them. I just don't think they have enough bench depth to really make noise. I think they're top heavy. DeRozan, Levine. Vucevic is, he's all right. He's okay. He has his moments. But I think unless Patrick Williams takes a big leap, I don't see much from the Bulls. They don't scare me.
Yeah, and then a big chunk of their salary cap is in a guy that hasn't played. Right. Lonzo Ball.
Lonzo.
Who knows what his future is. So, and then the draft picks that they gave up to get Vucevic. So even if you're looking at them potentially getting better, they don't have much, assets to immediately get better. So they're going to rely on their veterans,
Right.
On Vucevic, on DeRozan, and on Levine. And as you mentioned, not having Lonzo Ball, they even had to sign Goran Dragic, who's at,
Right.
he's on the last
Andre Drummond.
back of 9.
Yeah.
Andre Drummond. Like, these are the type of veterans they had to sign just to get some type of depth on their team. And then you have to add. And then here's the thing: when you have a team that doesn't have depth, CP, you know how much pressure's on your main guys to stay healthy.
On an aging DeRozan.
An aging DeRozan, an aging Vucevic. And remember we talked about them when Corey Telebo was on the show, and I talked about how it looks good now, but if this team doesn't win, that window's gonna close so fast, and then everyone's gonna talk about, well, that's why I like that the Knicks didn't go there with DeRozan, just because it's just an age thing.
They went all in on that team, bro. They went all in.
And then soon they're gonna be stuck worse than what people argue we are. So I think 6. I mean, you want to go?
We said Cleveland 6.
So Cleveland 6.
I put Miami 5th, Cleveland 6. Right, all that can be interchangeable. So 7th. Now you're talking solid play-in territory here, because play-in is 7, 8, 9, 10. So you give the Raptors 1. If you want to put the Bulls in there. You want to put the Knicks? I mean, who else?
I'm putting the Knicks.
Who else? I mean, you see this Wizards team being better than us? I don't.
Hell no.
I don't. Hornets are cooked.
Hornets haven't won a preseason game. Not that means much, but they don't look good.
I don't see anything from them. I think they're going. I think they're going for the Victor sweepstakes. I think Jordan's starting up the tank early.
Oh man,
they're going for Victor. Pistons, nice off-season upgrades, obviously. I'm not impressed.
I mean, they had 23 wins. Pistons might be the Knicks last season. They might get to 37 and be right outside the play-in.
Yeah.
That's where they might land.
We forgot about the Hawks.
The who?
I like that. We gotta clip that up. How about the Hawks? DeJounte, are you impressed? I don't think they're better than us, man.
I don't think they're better than us either.
I don't think that's not even hating. I don't think they're better than us. So we'll put the Hawks in there.
Okay.
And there you go, ladies and gentlemen. 7, 8, 9, 10. In whatever order. Playing.
That's why I don't see the Knicks at 10, because the 10 you're looking at who, the Hornets again.
Yeah,
you're looking at one of those. Maybe that's where the Pistons come in if they surprise, right? But
Pacers,
the Bulls.
Pacers,
maybe that's the Bulls.
Maybe it's the Bulls. Like I said, Pacers tank is very formidable. Once they get rid of Hield and Turner, once the Brody experiment in LA flops. And then LeBron gets desperate and then sends the 2 draft picks out there for Turner and Hield. That Pacers tank is going to look very, very formidable. They're out of there.
The Magic have a lot of young talent, but they're just not developed yet for me to
I don't think they're the corner
threat yet. Yeah. So the Magic are trending upward in terms of talent, but they have to put it together. I think Indiana's in search of more talent, so they're going to be tanking. Pistons are obviously looking to win. Maybe your boy Alec Burks hits a couple of clutch shots in the fourth.
Maybe Burks comes through for them.
Maybe he comes through. Noel, his one game every 10 games can come through on his contributions. You never know. But I see the Knicks around. I don't even know if you want to make the play-in, man. They got to shoot for 7-6, bro.
Yeah, ideally.
Gotta shoot for 7.
It's like, could a team like a Miami come back to the pack? Yes, but their defense is so good. I think they can always rely on that. Their defense is so good, man.
They're a popular pick as a team to take a step back, and I can see it.
Yes.
Because Kyle Lowry's 36 years old, and he didn't have a great year last year with them.
He looked very washed. Every bit of washed.
I tried to be nice.
He looked very much washed.
He was very washed. And Oladipo, he's already, Oladipo's 30 already. And
Right.
he just doesn't look like to be the Oladipo of the past, but maybe he can be good enough to be a contributor. I don't know, man. And then Jimmy Butler's getting older too. He's 33. But I'll tell you this, Miami, soon within the next year or two, the East is going to completely shift because you're seeing a lot of these teams. They're on their last legs in terms of their current core. I think the Bulls. You look at the Heat. Let's see what the Nets. With their guys. So in a year from now, you might see 4 or 5 teams look different,
flipped,
and the East totally flipped.
Big time. So yeah, I think we're solid playing territory.
Oh, man,
solid playing territory. What do you guys think in the chat? Where do you think the Knicks finish this year? I think it's realistic playing territory, and that's why I say 42. You say 45. I think that's a good range right there. A realistic range.
I mean, if we go by last season, I don't think the Hornets, but 42 doesn't even get us in.
Yeah.
Because the Hornets were 10th place and they were 43.
Yeah.
The 6th seed last season with the Bulls, they had 46.
Bucks, Sixers, Celtics, Nets, Miami, Cleveland, Toronto,
Knicks,
Bulls, Hawks, Bulls. Who cares? We're better. And we play all those teams tough. We played the Bulls tough last year. Always play the Hawks tough.
The Raptors always play us tough.
Yeah, Raptors always give us some work, man. Miami always gives us that work, except we did get them. We did get them on that come from behind win in Miami, which was a good one. Obviously, the Cleveland games are going to be big. Nets always big. We played the Celtics tough. Sixers, we got one from them, but overall they're a better team. Bucks, better team. We got one from them. Yeah, I'd say playing, man. I'd say playing.
What's the one team in the East you look more forward to playing this season? Friday night, Knicks, ESPN. What team you want that to be? And what's the one team you want to win, beat the most in the whole East for whatever reason?
So the Nets. Yeah, so it's the Nets, man. That last game at the Garden, there was way too many Nets fans in there. That whole Brooklyn Brigade and all that. It's the Nets. Nets and Miami tied. I think they're tied. Nets and Miami tied. The game in the East I most look forward to.
Does Donovan Mitchell at all?
I'm saying
hit a nerve?
I'm looking at
Does
the
he hit a
Cleveland
nerve
one.
at all?
I'm looking at this paper and I can't take my eyes off of Cleveland.
Garland,
man.
RJ, Mitchell, Knicks headlines.
I can't take my eyes off of Cleveland on this paper, man. I think that's it. It
might be a little new mini rivalry brewing here in the East because we always respected Donovan because he was in the West. He was in Utah. We didn't care.
Right.
But now it's a different story.
Story.
I don't think Knicks fans care anymore about the whole home and you from here.
Nah.
We don't care about that no more.
We're
Your
trying
Mets got eliminated. Get out of here with that.
We're trying to win. And we had some tough losses against Cleveland last year. The one where we have Rubio looking like Pistol Pete. At the Garden.
And I mean, it's just on paper alone, it's going to be a good matchup. I mean, they're looked at as a potential contender.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd say so. What about you? You going Cleveland?
The team I want to beat the most in the East for me, if everyone's healthy, is probably I'll go Nets 1. I'll go Nets 1, Hawks 2, Cleveland 3.
Yeah, Hawks are up there as well.
Because it's just always going to be
that trade beef is real, man. And John Collins, always showboating and whatnot.
Yeah,
that's always real, man.
we could say it's media hyped or whatever, but hey, it is what it is.
Yeah.
It's gotten the hype that it needs, and with them getting DeJounte Murray and DeJounte Murray's personality, I could already see him buying into it and things happening on the court. So, and Julius is still here, him and John Collins and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then with Jalen Brunson now, so the trash talk with
True
the fans, I could see Jalen Brunson, quick, on Trae Young real quick. And that'll be some Twitter talk there. So I think it's just the engagement also, just the fan engagement of that matchup. I can't wait to see that matchup this season.
Yeah, I could definitely agree with that. Let's take some more calls. Let me jump in there. Hang on. Dark Horse, hang tight. I see Dark Horse on the Discord. Hang tight. So it's everybody in the chat. Once again, hit that thumbs up on the feed, boys. Let's get back to Rambo, man. Let's hear what Rambo got to say. Rambo, what's good?
Yo, man, I seen on the chat somebody said, man, I was up in Westchester with bad service, man. I'm back. I'm back, man.
That was our fault, man. That was our fault, bro.
Nah, I already know, but you can't get rid of me that easy, man. I'm here. I'm here. I'm making more appearances than JD this season, man.
Let's go.
That's the plan.
Let's go.
But real quick, because I'm gonna touch on what y'all was just talking about. I'm gonna be real with you. I'm looking at the standings. Man, I like us anywhere from the 5th to the 8th seed.
Woo.
I like us to grab that 5th spot.
Okay.
I just seen KD get blocked by Ant right now. Preseason game. I don't feel confident in that. He looks like he lost a touch, lost a step. You know what I'm saying? So I like us for the 5th seed.
Okay.
Honestly, the Hawks, they're not proven. Cleveland, they're not proven. I mean, they look good on paper. They look real good on paper. I'm not going to lie, but they're not proven. So I like us maybe to sneak up there. There's only the first 4 spots for me are cemented. The Heat, Celtics, Bucks, Sixers. But besides that, everything's open game right now. Everything. You see what Brunson looking like. I like that.
Okay. Rambo said,
man
up.
You know what?
How many wins, Rambo?
In Brunson, no, I ain't gonna do all that. I don't got no win predictions. This isn't that.
You said 5th seed.
I just gotta see some. Huh?
You said 5th seed, man. So how many wins if we get the 5th seed?
All right. Let me see. I'm in between. I'm still in between like that good 42 to 50. Like I don't want to say 50 burger because JD didn't hop on 50 burger, so I ain't hopping on it either. Man.
He don't want to get. He don't want to be
on the
Yo, listen, man. Listen to this guy, Rambo, man. Listen to this guy. He comes in. He's telling us, man up. We're getting the 5th seed, and then he can't even put a win total on it.
His range is like 10 wins. 42 to 50. 5 to 8 seed. I'm like, hold on, wait.
He's all over the place, man. He's coming to take credit whichever way it goes. At the end of the season, he's calling it, telling you, I told you so. Can't make it up, man. Shout out to Rambo, man. Shout out to Rambo. He's definitely going to be a top 5 caller of the year. No doubt about it.
Facts.
No doubt about it, man. Let's go to Benji from Manhattan. Benji, what's good?
Hey, what's up, CP? What's up, JD? Just super pumped. I think it was great preseason. Really encouraged by how cohesive. I think the characteristic I would say just of these 4 games is just cohesive. The team looks just in sync, with the exception of the Indiana game. Whatever. We finished the game with guys that probably wouldn't be finishing the game under normal circumstances. So I think overall everyone looks pretty solid. Obviously Fournier didn't have a great night tonight, but I thought his floor game was good with rebounds and I think 5 rebounds, 5 assists, which is pretty rare for him. And also he was D'ing up Bradley Beal in that one play, in the 3rd quarter. His defense is better than usual. Probably the most negative thing from this preseason has been Cam Reddish, obviously. Don't know exactly the shooting numbers. I think it's like, 6 for 26 or something. It's pretty bad. So he didn't really do himself any favors, but Grimes was super rusty tonight. I like Hartenstein, man. I think he gives us a different look. I like his little flip shots in the lane. That's not something we've really had from the center position. Mitch was unbelievable tonight with those offensive rebounds. Pretty insane. Just wish the game counted, obviously. yeah, so I'm super encouraged, man. I'm feeling pretty optimistic. I mean, it's a little tough to gauge because of who we played. Indiana, Washington, Detroit, not the best teams in the East. Teams that we're better than. I don't see Detroit. I think that there's no way Detroit's winning 37 games, man. There's no. I think they're a high 20s, low 30s.
Yeah.
They have some talent on that. They have some talent on that team. Killian Hayes might be the worst player in the NBA. Yeah, he's like the only guy in the NBA with like a negative PER. Like he's really. I know he's young, but he's really been underwhelming.
Yeah.
I think you make a good point about the rankings. It's hard to see where which teams. Whenever I say, hey, we're a 48-win team to my friends, they say, hey, which teams are we better than? So I understand that train of thought. I just think we got to wait and see. Let's not focus on the teams that we're better at. Let's just try to win as many games as we can, man. And I think with Brunson, you're seeing the impact, how the team's moving. I noticed that the ball is getting off of rebounds. The ball is getting out in transition quicker. Hardenstein throws a lot of kind of those Kevin Love type passes up the court. I'm just seeing better synchronicity with just like how the ball is being handed off and moved, and people are swinging and rolling. It's just everything looked great, man. Tonight was an example of just the game was never in doubt. We were up big, whatever. They tied it briefly, then we pulled ahead. We never really sweated it. We're a much better team than Washington. I think we're good, man. My last point is sorry I can't make the event on Wednesday. Look forward to linking up with you guys on Friday. I sit in the seats, the first row above the tunnel that the opposing team comes out of.
Okay.
So I'll try to link up with you guys at the game. Right where like Derrick Rose is on the bike.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'll try to catch up with you guys, but I'm super pumped. I think this has been a great preseason.
So you're going 48?
Camp and oh yeah, I'm staying with 48, man. Don't test me and don't test me. I'll go to 52, man. Don't test me. I'm just kidding.
52, man. Benji, appreciate it, man. Definitely appreciate the call. So Benji's going 48, man. Okay.
A lot of optimism tonight.
A lot of optimism tonight. It's preseason.
That's the beauty of sports, man. That's every year when you're close to the opener, everybody's optimistic.
0-0, man. 0-0. Look, on his Cam point, I always thought it was going to take a miracle for Cam to crack this rotation.
Man, Cam.
I just don't see it. I don't see it.
Now, I will say this. I know you said that, CP, but I really think he could have put a lot of pressure because, like pay attention to how they're managing Fournier. Now, I know he played in the Eurobasket, but even tonight, right, only 16 minutes, and he didn't play a game, so like they were open to giving him the opportunity. Come on. Give us, show us something. Let's see what you got. And he did not respond to it. There are little things on the court that you can say, but you know what the problem is? Like, for example, one of them, I don't think he has chemistry with some of these players. I definitely don't think he has chemistry for Quickly, for example.
Yep.
Just there's something off there.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, though. It's like he just doesn't. For me, I'm not going to give him all of the benefit of the doubt. Because when the inconsistency happens in too many games, it just becomes a long laundry list of things. And at some point, it's like, I know you don't have chemistry with this player. I know you're standing on the corner. But, I mean, Fournier moves a little bit. He tries to get the ball. He tries to get some action. It's like, I don't see Cam with that mindset. And like I said, in preseason, I just feel that there was some freedom for some players to be aggressive if they wanted to.
Yeah.
And he just seems a little bit lost on, I think he wants to impress Tibbs. He wants to impress the franchise. But at the same time, he just doesn't have a feel right now for how to be effective. And I had mentioned this on SNY that Tibbs, which didn't get any publicity, Zach Braziller from the New York Post Sports had tweeted out, I think on October 2nd, that Tibbs said that Reddish was not hitting shots in practice. Now, I thought that was surprising for a coach to say that because at that point, the Knicks had not played a preseason game. So I'm thinking, like, why would you say that this player is not hitting shots? And like a preseason game hasn't started yet. Like I would think, and then you haven't seen that. So there must have been something to that. It tells me he's also been struggling in practice because Tibbs gave you a little bit of a hint. And we've also seen it transpire in the games, unfortunately for him. So I think at this point, CP, once you get to this point, it's really about now he needs an injury. He needs maybe somebody to really play bad. And then he has to make sure that when he gets his next opportunity,
Can't look back.
Can't look back, bro. Because otherwise, it's not only that. I mean, we may not even be able to move him for anything.
Not at this point.
Although I do think he has enough talent to somebody will take a chance on him. I don't think this is like a Kevin Knox situation.
Yeah.
But it's like, people are gonna watch that preseason film too. So
yeah.
It's a roller coaster with Cam Reddish right now.
Yeah. Not looking too good, man. Cam Hive, not looking too good. All right, let's wrap it up with Dark Horse on the Discord. Dark Horse, what's going on?
Hey, what's good, CP? Can you hear me?
Yeah, good. I see Sam and King D's as well, but go ahead, Dark Horse. Let's go rapid fire.
Hey, rapid fire. So, just wanted to say, I talked about us tanking last time, and Obi's already out. This is what I was concerned about. We are deep, but Obi's already out. So, I actually think this is a good opportunity for Cam, but because he could take like that some of the minutes of the four.
That's fair.
But low key, I think part of the problem with Cam, I'm starting to see in the preseason, is I think he kind of is like low key kind of scared to make a mistake in front of Tibbs because it's his contract year. Coupled with, I used to think he has a high like basketball IQ. I think it's probably more so average. It's not like JR bad, but it's like it's not helping with the ball movement or like moving off ball. But I'm excited to see what he looks like. I think we're overhyping the East a little bit. I don't think anybody really got that much better except for like Atlanta, us, and the Cavs. Middleton's still out for the Bucks. He's gonna be out like for like at least 10, 15 games still. Dude's looking like Kadarius Toney right now. So I'm like, I don't really see it being like all that competitive. I think it's gonna be like it's kind of like a crapshoot. It's like it's almost like the NFL, the East this year. It's like it could be the Giants 3-1.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
How many wins?
Be surprise teams.
But
yeah, that's all I had to say.
How many
wins?
Hold on, man. Don't leave.
Don't leave. Don't run after you say all that.
How many wins?
I mean, like I said, I'm really trying to go for Wembanyama, but like if I'm being objective and we're healthy, like just because of what I said, like I think we could probably do like 48, like enough for like a not playing like a fifth seed, probably like 48. I think that'll be enough for a fifth seed. But yeah, I think it's gonna be like a lot of like 47, 48, 49, like 50. Like the teams aren't gonna be. It's not gonna be like a great team or like a really really bad team, except for like I think it's gonna be everyone's in the middle. Maybe some of the tanking teams will be bad, but
okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be competitive.
All right. Have a good weekend, man. He totally avoided the question, bro.
Yeah, no, he tried to click.
Yeah.
Trying to get out of there.
Yeah, he tried to again. He's like Rambo trying to play it in the middle. We should tank. The East isn't that good, but I still think we're gonna get 48 wins.
Well, you say you're gonna get 48. That should tell you even if we try to tank, we're not gonna be bad enough. How do you go from 48 to like having 20 wins?
Oh man, you can't make it up, man. We should be tanking. You guys overrated the East, and by the way, we gotta win 48 games to make the playoffs. Oh man, shout out to Dark Horse. Sam, talk to us, man. Happy Friday, man. How you feeling?
I'm great. How you guys doing tonight?
Good, man. What's going on?
Look, after this preseason, it's looking pretty good. I think we've all expected RJ Barrett to make a jump. I think what we didn't expect is for Mitchell Robinson to play this well. Mm-hmm. And I think that could be a major X factor in where we land. If Mitchell Robinson continues on this track, I don't I don't know, man. We may be in for a treat. Now, I'm not saying that we're playoff locks. We're still a play-in team.
Yeah.
By the way, my number is 45.
Okay.
My number is 45. And we're gonna be a play-in team. But if Mitchell Robinson really steps up, I don't know, man. That could be really dangerous for this team. I mean, I did some calculations already for the preseason. Our pace is up by 5 points. Everyone knows that we were at bottom 3 pace.
Let's go.
So with the past
break
4
it down,
games,
Sam. Somebody in the chat called him Statmaster Sam. Let's go, Sam. Let's break down the numbers, man. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, these past 4 preseason games, we're top 10 in pace if we compare it to last season. And big mention, Julius Randle's usage percentage went down 8%. That's huge. We're down from 28% to 21%. That's close to league average.
I like that one.
You know,
Yeah,
stars
I like
get
that one.
stars get around 28% usage percentage. I don't know, man. I got 45. I think we get 8, 9, 7 if we're lucky.
Okay. Great. Appreciate the call, man. Sam in the Discord breaking out the numbers. Let's go.
You on an island with 42, CP?
Yeah, you know, I have to treat it. Look, it's just like this. I'm treating it like how I treat the Giants. How I've treated the Giants over the last 10 years.
Oh boy.
How I treat it, because remember those years we had Coughlin and Tiki and this, and I'm like, yo, this is it. We're gonna be so nice. We're gonna be so nice, and they would be average at best. And
8 and 8.
You would
7
8
and
and 8s.
9.
The 8 and 8s. We need help. We need this to happen, this to happen, this to happen, and then maybe we could get in and make the playoffs. Every year was like that for 5 years of that Coughlin era, right? When they were underachieve and we need this, we need this, we need this, and you just
even the years we won the Super Bowl with 9 and 7.
Right. and like it would be like those years between 2007 to 11, it was those type of situations.
Yeah.
And it's just like you going in like, okay, we're gonna be back at it. We're gonna be back at it.
Because you know what the problem is with, and it's why Leon Rose is they want a star, is when we evaluate this roster, there's a lot of things to be excited about. The thing is, when you don't have a Giannis, don't have a Luka, right? You don't have a Joel Embiid, a Kevin Durant. You know, all those rosters are going to face adversity. They're going to face injuries. But if their main stars are healthy, these guys can carry a 2-week stretch of one of your key role players being hurt.
Yeah. What's
going to happen when that happens to us? Can Jalen Brunson, if he's the guy that's healthy, can he do that? Right? So we don't have, I believe, that type of player to help us in the moments that it's just going to happen, where we run through this adversity moments, a few injuries, what happens when Mitch gets hurt. Like, the thing is with this Knicks roster, everybody is critical. Everybody has to stay healthy. Everybody plays a specific role. So if you were to tell me that all these guys are going to be healthy, I feel pretty good about 45 wins.
Yeah.
But in your case, with the realistic possibility of a season, then 42 can definitely happen.
Yeah, that's just where I'm staying. I'm just staying with it, man. I want to be pleasantly surprised, like this Giants team right now. 4-1.
It's better that way, right?
Yeah, it's better that way. 4-1. I'm about to roll into the Meadowlands with my shades on. I got my 1990 my anniversary jacket. I'm going in there styling and profiling like Ric Flair. 4-1, going up against the Ravens. We got nothing to lose. I'm happy. I'm happy that the season isn't a complete wash after the first 2 games. That's what I like, because I came into this Giants season thinking that they're going to be absolutely horrendous to look at, and they've been the complete opposite. I've been pleasantly surprised, and I'm happy right now. That's where I want to be with the Knicks. I just want to be happy, man. I don't want to say 50 wins and then they underachieve and then I'm disappointed and miserable. Let me be pleasantly surprised. That, like when they made the 4th seed, I didn't expect that. I think I was along the lines of Vegas, right? What did Vegas say? 29 wins?
Yeah.
I said, I might have said like 30 something if I go back to those tapes. Let me be pleasantly surprised and then ride the wave. That's how I'm thinking, man.
What do you think? Okay, you saying 42. Obviously, based on the fan reaction and fan predictions, that seems to be the low end, right?
Yeah.
What do you think is the peak, the high end of what this team could accomplish? So if let's say if I told you this roster is going to be 90% healthy throughout the season, like or forget health, just the peak of this roster, where do you think that could be?
I say 48. But it depends.
Ooh,
it depends.
So CB has some belief.
If. It's only if. That depends on if RJ could break. If he gets to 23, 24 a game and he's that guy consistently, I think they can get there. I think it largely depends on RJ.
Because I already know what I'm getting from Jalen. And I actually think Jalen might uptick a little bit in some of these stats, because I think he's actually going to be an aggressive player. I think his shots are going to go up on this team. So then to me, RJ is the wild card when we talk about the Knicks hitting a ceiling.
Right.
You know, when we talk about the Knicks, can the Knicks overachieve or get to that next level? I think RJ is the wild card to get them there, because I just know what I'm going to get from Jalen. And to be honest, when it comes to Julius, I'm just in the middle.
Yeah.
I just feel like, and you could see it too, where I think you could see throughout the season him naturally just going down into that third slot role. You know, like tonight, he only took 11 shots, right? In like almost 30 minutes. And we've seen some of that. So, you know, the focus for him is more about pace, pushing the ball, passing the ball. And I could see Jalen and RJ being, the top two guys on this team. And I think that's how everybody wants it. I think this franchise realizes, I hope so, that that's the way it should be this season. Yeah. So, RJ holds the cards to, I think, the Knicks reaching the potential, because he's your draft pick. He's your homegrown player. And let's be honest, he's your $100 million guy. As he signed that extension. So he needs to be a big part of it.
And it just seems like, again, it's only preseason and it's early. I just don't know if Julius' three-pointer is going to come back, man.
I was going to ask you that, if you are concerned about that aspect, because, it's preseason, so you don't want to overreact, but I'm a little concerned about him regaining that three-point shot.
He doesn't really seem like he's got it. But RJ does, which, again, could be a plus. And you factor in, you have another guy like Grimes or a Fournier next to him. I like that. I'm not so sure about Julius, though. Because he's been taking some wide open ones. He's been bricking. So we'll see, man. We'll see. But he's giving the ball up. I got to give Julius credit this preseason. I like how he's playing. I like his effort, like his hustle. He's playing fine. It just doesn't seem like he's got that three ball back yet. So we'll see.
And that's gonna be, that's gonna be key for this team. And you see, my concern with him is him being able to play the way you want him to play, as far as not being a ball stopper. But then the problem is, if he does that but doesn't hit shots, it's gonna, I guess, cancel out. It's just not gonna feel like he's actually impacting. He has to make shots.
Yeah,
he has to make shots.
I'm with you.
I mean, that goes for everyone, but specifically him, because as you see, he's going to get looks with Jalen. He's going to get looks. And all his looks may not be off Jalen assisting to him, but Jalen being on the floor, whether it's a couple passes, then he gets the ball, he is going to get open threes. And I think you're going to continue to see that, because teams, when they start to scout you and they start to, game plan, they're going to look at Jalen Brunson as a main guy for the Knicks, because they're going to say, if he's on, everybody else around them is. So we got to make sure that the people around them, they beat us. Let's make Julian beat us from three. Yeah. And that's where Julian's going to have to counter and make his three-point shots.
No question about it, man. Let's close it out tonight with King Deej on the Discord. Deej, what's good, bro?
Yo, CP, JD, what's good, man? Peace and love to the room, man.
Absolutely.
I just I just want to say, like, obviously it's the preseason, so let's not get overly excited.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go right into what you guys are asking. The record, I got them at 42, 43 wins.
Mm-hmm.
I think that puts us, I know there was like about 4 teams last year that was 50 plus. I still got those 4 teams. I don't think it's the Celtics. I swapped the Celtics out. I think it's the Bucks, Sixers, Nets, and then maybe the Cavs or the Heat. Maybe one of those as a top 4. But I got us in that 6, 7, 8 range. I think now that I watched all 4 games, and yes, they were all different in different ways, but the thing that I could see from the starting 5 is that Jalen Brunson and RJ Barrett, their efficiency, like RJ Barrett averaged 15 shots for these 4 games. Yeah. Shout out to Sam. Sam is a stat guy.
Mm-hmm.
RJ Barrett right now in his sleep is averaging like 22 points. So if that monitor stays the same, then hopefully I think that'll be the ascension for us. The interesting question that I have, and again, shout out to y'all too. Like I said, I never miss opening night 4 years in a row. So I'm gonna be in Memphis, section 102.
Let's go.
So I'm gonna be repping the black RJ jersey. But with that being said,
don't go to Memphis. Go to the 40-40.
Hey, listen, hey, JD, chill. Some things gotta stay silent, man. But with that being said, man, I think this team, like Sam said, the offensive rating is much better. They're in the 4 games. Their uptick in pace is good. My biggest 2 questions for this season, and it's still they get answered. Even though Evan played a good game, I'm still worried about this wing position. It's funny. We finally got a point guard, and now we don't have that wing position. We're 2 pieces away from being a real threat in the East, but we need to solidify that wing position. I don't know if that's with Grimes. I mean, obviously everybody knows how they feel about Cam Reddish, but I think that ship has sailed. Just looking long term, Evan Fournier can't guard me on a fast break. So like when I'm looking at the Jason Tatums and the Jaylen Browns, the DeMar DeRozans, when Middleton comes back, you got KD and Ben.
Yeah,
I'm just worried about how much that goes towards RJ Barrett. You know what I mean?
It will.
Yeah. So with that being said, I like Jalen Brunson was more than advertised. He's kind of the constant flow. Julius Randle, I know how we feel about Julius, but from these 4 preseason games, he's buying in. So until he goes ballistic, I gotta support the brother. And with that being said, man, I said it earlier on Twitter. It's house money, man. If we lose, then hey, you get a top 10 pick in a draft where there's top 14 players, top 15 maybe. But with that being said, if they win, then you get to balance it out. I'm not really expecting too high or too low this season. Like you said, CP, I think you illustrated that perfectly. Just let the chips fall where they be, man. And with that being said, let's rock out, man. Let's enjoy the season. The most important thing is how Jalen Brunson and RJ Barrett control this shit. Because I think
how many wins, Deej?
I got 42, 43, man. I got 42, 43. I'm stuck on those 2 numbers, man. So peace and love to y'all. Enjoy the season, man.
King Deej with the closing call, and Deej said he's going to Memphis.
Yeah, that's why I had to.
Yeah. Oh my God. He's going to the wrong place, but all right.
I'll go to the Memphis 40-40.
Yeah.
I go to the New York one.
Yeah. No judgment. He's going to the wrong place, but okay. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to King Deej. All right, man. The preseason is over with, ladies and gentlemen. You've heard it, man. You've heard some win predictions. And this is it, man. What are you guys feeling? Final thoughts in the chat. Shout out to the replay gang. Leave some comments on this video on how you feeling as the preseason has come to a close. Knicks finished 3-1. What are some of the signs you saw? The positives, the negatives. What are you most looking forward to in the season? Leave us some comments. Hit us up on Twitter. Let us know what you guys are thinking. As we head into Wednesday, a couple of things as far as the content. We'll wrap up our player expectations series. Maybe Sunday, maybe Monday. Again, I'm going to the Giants game. We'll see what type of condition I'm in Sunday night. Those early games and those tailgates, man. I'm getting older, JD. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm getting older, man. So sometimes I don't got enough gas in the tank when I get home, man. You know what I'm saying? You're staring up at the ceiling. Next thing you know, it's Monday morning, 6 a.m.
Yeah,
That's that type of time. So we'll see. Well, if you guys get the notification for Sunday night, it'll be Sunday night. If not, we'll move it into Monday. We're gonna try to get a Memphis preview night going. We'll get a Memphis guest going. I'm working on that on the back end, so stay tuned on that. We gotta preview the game. And then Wednesday night, as I said, ladies and gentlemen, if you are in the tri-state area and you want to watch the game, you gotta come to 4040 Club in New York City, free to get in. We're gonna watch the game. We're going to stream the show pregame, halftime, postgame. There will be prizes to give away. There will be special guests in the building. There will be special guests coming on to the show. Again, still working on that. We are still booking. People hit me up, CP, I got to be there. Blah, blah, blah. I've said, okay, we're planning things very nicely here. It's going to be a nice event. And as I said the other day, you know, sometimes you go to the bar, you go to the restaurant, and you're watching the game, but you don't get the play-by-play. So you kind of miss that feel. Now we're pumping in the play-by-play, and then we're gonna do music during the commercial break. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna get the best of both worlds. We're still gonna have a vibe, but when the game is on, it's game on. We're locked in. All right. So we're gonna have the game audio throughout the whole entire club. So no worries. All right. So don't feel like you're gonna come there and be like, oh, I'm not really in my element. I'm not in the man cave with the game audio. No, we're gonna have the game audio. And then we're going to get to the vibes. Best of both worlds, man. So I'm hoping everybody can make it out. Go to betkftv.com to enter. And again, it's free, 21 and up. It's not a family show that night. Don't show up with the kids. 21 and up. That's the vibe. And come in your Knicks gear, you know. Come in your Knicks gear, your athletic gear, your KnicksFanTV gear. Hopefully you guys rock your KnicksFanTV snaps. And we'll be in there heavy, man. It's going to be a great night. So that is that. And also remember that this show is presented by Manscaped, fellas. Go to manscaped.com, enter promo code KFTV for 20% off plus free shipping. And also remember that this show is available in audio podcast format, man. Every podcast platform there is, you can find KnicksFanTV. If you got an Alexa, tell Alexa, play KnicksFanTV, and she will obey your commands. All right, JD, we out of here, man. Great show as usual. We'll check you guys either Sunday or Monday. We'll see. Let's go Giants. And let's go Yankees, man. Could they, you know, playoff baseball is so stressful, man. It's so stressful, man. My guy Judge is hitting golden sombreros out here. They're throwing them dirt ball strikes. You know, the strike zone is wide as the Atlantic Ocean in the playoffs. For these power hitters, man.
Must win tomorrow.
Must win. It was a battle of the bullpens today, man. And you know, Cleveland's bullpen is ferocious, but our bullpen stepped up. They got a couple of blue pits, and that's how the playoffs goes, man. Just a couple of bang-bangs. So hopefully the Yankee backs can get back on track and get to it.
I just hate this type of baseball with a home run and that's it. Like, that's just what it is now.
Yeah.
It's like home run baseball. If teams don't hit home runs, nobody scores.
Yeah.
So,
you
know,
it's tough.
It's tough, but they have to win tomorrow, or it's going to get pretty ugly.
Pressure,
because it's a 5 out of 3. It's a short series.
Best of 5, and that's where your pitching's got to come in, man. Cleveland's bullpen they were painting the zone. But
you want to win tomorrow because Game 4 is going to be Garrett Cole, so you want that opportunity for that game to be the closeout game, not the game to, you know, get you to survive to 5. So that's why they have to win tomorrow.
And you don't want to put no pressure on him because I still don't think he can handle it here. So we'll see. We'll see. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We'll see, man. That's life of the Yankees fans. We'll see. We'll definitely see, man. But anyway, we out of here, people. Hit that thumbs up button for you boys one last time. KnicksFanTV.